Hi, welcome to Mama Four Boys, and tonight I'm going to make kebabs with top sirloin steaks, red and yellow peppers, a Vidalia onion, and I'm also going to make some corn on the cob. So I've already cut up one yellow pepper into this slice size pieces, and I'm just going to show you the way that I cut the peppers. So I just cut down along the sides where I think it'll be good enough slices to size for kebabs. And then I'll do one more cut here. Show you pretty quickly how I do these. And one more. And then I'm going to take and I'm just going to cut the top off of this pepper here. Get rid of that. Put that one in my mouth. And then I'll take this and trim these little bits off of here. They're very easy to prepare peppers for kebabs because there's no real right or wrong way to do it. So once I get them like this, I'm going to just cut them in half so they'll go on kebabs good. They'll be nice sized pieces of pepper for the kebabs. If I have a big piece, I might cut it into 3 pieces and use the small pieces as a very end cap for the pepper to help everything stay on. Like that'll be an end cap for a pepper, or for a kebab, not a pepper. Don't put an end cap on a pepper, put it on a kebab. So here I've got 1, 2, and this will be a piece that will hold everything on. So I've got 2 red peppers, 2 yellow peppers. Here I've only cut up 1 of each so far, but I'm going to finish cutting these up. Next I'll cut the onion up, and I'm also making corn on the cob. I'll get the meat cut up after this. We'll get the meat marinating, and we'll let it sit for about a half an hour, 45 minutes marinating before we use it. You don't have to wait all day. It could always be better if you wait all day or a few hours for it, but tonight we're just going to do it kind of just a half an hour or so, and I'll be back soon. All right, welcome back. I've got peeled my Vidalia onion. I cut it in half, and now I'm gonna cut this into not all the way down through. I cut kind of the outside couple of rings into pieces so I can get them off and have pieces that are still large enough and shaped nice enough for kebabs. And then the center pieces I can use. The center pieces I'm absolutely free to use for the kebabs too. But the nice big pieces. So now that I've got this, I'll probably just cut this in half, and I'll get a few more good sized slices out of this before I get down to the center. And these pieces can still be used for the kebabs. Here's another one. And then I'll take the big pieces and put them on mine, because if nobody else likes this big hunk of onion, I sure do. So the big pieces, I sure like those. So I'll be happy to eat that. So again, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 layers in or so. There's that. Do it again on this one. So I get pieces that are pretty uniform in size. There's 3 more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 there. That's kind of a nice big piece that I'll use. Here's 1, 2, 3 more pieces. And this piece here, I'll probably cut it like that. These are good, still good sized pieces for kebabs there. That's a kind of a centerpiece. I'll put that on. And this is kind of a centerpiece. So I've got my onions there. So now we're done with the vegetables, and I'm going to rinse my cutting board off, and I'll start cutting the meat. Actually, I'm just going to turn I rinsed it, but I'm going to turn it over and use the opposite side of my cutting board. for the meat. So what I have here is I have some Black Angus Petite sirloin steaks from Aldi's. This was $11.39 at Aldi's. We've been using these steaks for a long time. They're often very, very good. We just really like. We cook these up all the time. So I'm gonna cube this up into pieces. It'll be good for kebabs. Like this. I'm only going to do this one, then I'll cut the other ones up without you having to sit there and watch me. So I've got this piece is kind of thick here, but I'll use it anyway that way. So I'll cut. I'm going to cut them into cubes about that big. So I'll count like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cubes there. Okay. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces. That's a little piece. I'll just add that on as the end of something. 14 pieces. So I like to kind of keep track of how many cubes of steak I have. That way I know how many kebabs sort of to get ready. So here's 3, 6 more, 9 more, and maybe I'll just leave these as big pieces. So that piece is all just fat. So see what I've got here. This is a nice big piece. I'll cut that into 2. As is this piece, really big. Well, I don't like the pieces of meat so big that you wind up taking them off, and some are cooked all the way and some are not. So there was 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. I'd say 26. So if I put, put 4 or 5 on each kebab, I'll have 4 really nice kebabs. If I put a couple less on, I'll have even more kebabs. So let's cut up this last steak here, and let me trim this off of here. It's a big piece of fat. But we sure do make a lot of stuff with all these steaks. Every now and then you'll get one that has a lot of extra fat on it, and if you're just going to cook a steak on the grill, that fat can be nice. But if you're going to trim it up and use it for something else, they're really good steaks. And so we've had some of the more expensive steaks from there too, like the strip steaks. Their strip steaks are wonderful there. And if you're like me and you've been buying steaks your whole life, you wind up sometimes you get fantastic steaks, even from the best places, and sometimes you don't get the best steaks. But as long as you marinate them, they should turn out pretty good. So we're going to cut this last couple pieces up, and I'm going to put this in a baggie with zesty Italian dressing, and we'll be back here as soon as I get my Italian dressing in the bag ready. We'll see you soon. All right, I'm back. I've put my steak in these sandwich bags with the zesty Italian salad dressing, and I let them sit for about 45 minutes now. It's been. So I'm getting ready to. I'm going to lay some aluminum foil down here, and I'm going to start getting myself prepared to make my kebabs. I have plenty of different types of kebab skewers that we use. We have the regular wooden ones, and then we have these, which have a nice area where you can grab with your fingers or with your pliers if you have to use pliers like I do sometimes to turn the kebabs. I like to use these. So we'll see how many we get out of these. I'm going to say if we have 30 pieces of meat, which I think we about do, so maybe I'll make 6 with 5 pieces of meat on each, and that will give me an idea of what I need. If I have 5 kebabs, maybe I'll need 5 pieces of pepper on each one and 5 pieces of onion on each one, and that should be about pretty close to what I have cut up. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. I always start with a pepper on the end because they're pretty stable. So, and I turn the kebab skewer as I'm putting it through so it doesn't break the pepper. So maybe I'll start with a yellow one on each one. I work all the way through each one. It's kind of the way that I am. I'll do 6 with the same thing. I don't know why I like things to be so uniform, but I do. And so I'll put 6 of these on, and then when I run out of things, I'll run out kind of in an even manner. So then maybe I'll do a nice piece of steak on each one. Like so. Oh. If I have plenty to put plenty on, I'll just load them up. Then I always butt an onion up against there, kind of sandwich it in there between the pepper and the sandwich the meat between the pepper and the onion, like so. I've got my hot water started for my corn on the cob. So here in a little bit, when I get these just about done, I'll take a break. So now I'm going to go with another piece of meat on each one. I don't know if people are going to think that this is too painstakingly long to watch me make 6 of these, but I'm a systematic kind of person here. So, okay, now I'm going to go with a red pepper this time on each one. I'll get it started through. Red pepper. I like to make it colorful and attractive. You know, for my family, I really like the way it looks when it comes off. And I'm not like a gourmet cook, but maybe they can think that I know a little bit about what I'm doing. And here's my washer in the background running out of it's not in balance, so it's running out of balance. So here we'll go with another piece of meat on each one. Then we'll go with another onion. I'll try to use the biggest pieces of meat first, and I'll add those smaller ones on last. Or I'll add 2 of the smaller pieces on at one time. And I think we're going to have just the right amount of meat to have some really meaty kebabs. So I'm on my second bag of meat now. There's a lot in this one though, a lot of big pieces. So here we go. Now we're going to go again with an onion, sandwiching that meat between vegetables each time, like so. And I think after I'm done with all these, when I put them on, I'm going to really blast them with a nice big amount of steak seasoning, because my son Tommy loves steak seasoning. He's a big steak seasoning guy, and we buy that at Aldi's too. So we love the steak seasoning from there. We use it on everything at camp. We just like steak seasoning on a lot of things. It's not just good for steak. You can put it on. I have put that steak seasoning in bean soup before, and it was so good. These nice big pieces of meat here. Alright, another pepper. Another pepper. These are going to be some nice looking kebabs. When they're done. I'm going to have to go with a yellow one next so that we can even the color out. I have just the right amount of the big ones. And then this time I think I'm going to go ahead and go with another onion on each one because I have a lot of onion. And everybody in the family seems to like these kind of onions. Alright, now I can go with another piece of meat. And we're getting close to the end of them, so I think I'm going to have just the right amount of meat. And if I don't, what I'm done, I will take it. I'll make like a nice big meat kebab, or something. Or if I have enough everything left over, I'll add another kebab to the group here. But it's always nice to have something. Make sure you have enough, and then to make it the way you like it, and then add an extra one in if you feel like it at the end. I'm going to take this little piece of meat off of here because I don't like the way that one looks. So maybe I'll trim that up and use that at the end. We're getting very close to the end of these here. And look at that. So we're now down to just a few little pieces of meat. So I'm going to tag another piece onto here. And another piece. I'll take that little bit of fat off of there, tag it onto this one. Take the meat off of here so there's no fat on it. Tag that onto there. I'm going to put one more onion on, and if I have room, which I'm going to make sure I have room, I'm going to put, I'm going to cap them off with another yellow pepper, and I think they're going to be fantastic. I think everybody's going to like them, and we're going to have one very nice meal. So after I do this, I think I might make one kebab up that has the remainder of the vegetables on it, just peppers and onions, and then I'll dump some of the dressing over top of that to make it taste like marinated. And so let's add a nice yellow pepper onto the end of each one of these. I got some big ones left too, so nice pieces here. Add these onto the end. That gives it, keeps everything on, keeps things from falling off, and that's really the only purpose it serves. So I have these left, so I'll put these on a skewer, these on a skewer, and somebody can have extra veggies if they like. So we're going to season these up here in a second, and I'll be ready to get started with the corn, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the corn. Alright, I'm back. I'm going to show you, this is the steak seasoning we buy from Aldi's. I put it on a few of these already, and we do not worry about skimping on these. We cover both sides here real good. And it has garlic, it's got pepper, it's got nice chunky salt in it. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, and it really kicks. It's got a nice kick. Steakhouse kick to it. So there we have that. Those are all seasoned up. When I come back, I'll have this cleaned up, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the corn. We'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I've got my I've already washed 2 of the ears of corn, and I've washed these other 3. I'm going to I know you can just break them, but I usually just take and roll the knife around one time so I get a kind of a score on and it breaks very nicely. I don't crush any of the corn. I'll cut that a little bit off. Don't crush any of the corn whenever I'm doing it. And so let me get a little bit of the end off of this one here. I don't like that on there. So again, I'll take it and I'll just roll it like this. Snap it. Roll it. Snap it. I trim this little bit off the end here before I put it in the water. I'll trim this little end off here. I forgot to trim just a little bit of the ends off that I normally trim those off so they're nice and flat on the ends. Okay, so there we have it. I'm going to place these 6 additional pieces in my hot water, and I'm going to get the meat out and go put it on the grill. Be right back. All right, I'm back, and there's my corn in the water boiling, or getting ready to boil. I'm going to take the steaks out now and put them on the grill. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I've got my grill at about 450 degrees. It won't be that way for long once I open it up and get the kebabs on. So here we go. Okay, because I've got it on low, so I'm going to put these spaced pretty evenly since I have 6. 4, 5, and 6, and I'm going to go ahead and put this extra veggies right there on the top so they can cook but not overcook. So I'm going to close this up now. I'll set my timer for about 3 or 4 minutes. I come out and flip these several times. They cook really quick. So now I'm going to go inside and check on the corn and get things ready for dinner. See you soon. All right, I'm back. It's been about 5 minutes. You can see the wood here is dark, but I just take a pair of pliers and I grab them and I turn them over like so. See how I grab that piece of wood there. Turn it. Pretty easy to do. Not too hard. Flip them over. Over and flip them over, and they're starting to cook up nice, and we will be back soon. All right, we're back, and our steaks or our kebabs are ready, so we'll start pulling them off the grill here. There we go. They smell delicious. And my little extra one here. Extra veggies there. Yes, very nice. Okay, we'll be back when I get them plated up here. Hi, welcome back. I've got the corn on the cob ready. The kebabs are here, and everything is cooked to perfection. They look great. So what I actually put butter and I put a little bit of cayenne pepper on my corn because I like it that way. We like to make the Chicago style corn whenever we can. We put mayonnaise and Parmesan cheese and some cayenne pepper or paprika in it. Cut the corn off the cob and had it for real one time in Chicago when I was there, and I was hooked after the first time I had it. It was so lovely. So, and actually all of our kids really like it. Tommy likes it, and Jacob likes it. And
I'm gonna make a video about it one day.
yes, we're going to make a video about it one day. So I'm going to take it, and unlike other people, I like to take my kebabs off the skewers, but some people eat it right off the skewer, and that's fine too. So I'm going to take mine off, and I'm going to get myself just a piece of steak here. I'm going to try the steak first. Very good. How's that steak seasoning? Wonderful. Now I'm going to get a little bit of a red pepper here, and a piece of steak, and a little piece of onion. I'm going to have a little bit of everything at one time because I like to do that. I like to taste all the flavors at once. Very good. The vegetables are cooked just right. They're still crunchy, but they're cooked perfectly. They're not all just soggy and nothingness. They still have all their flavor. Nothing's overpowering the other. Everything is wonderful. I've probably been making these kebabs for years and years, and I think that we kind of have it down to a science. I tell you, you cannot go wrong with this, and it's not an expensive meal. I probably have, what I say, $11 or something in the steak. The corn was $3 for 5 pieces of corn or so, and the peppers were about $1 a piece. The onion was maybe 50 or 60 cents. So we're only looking at like $15 or so to feed 4 or 5 people a really good steak and corn on the cob meal. Here we go. The cayenne pepper is so good on corn. Corn is sweet. Always gets stuck in your teeth though. But corn on the cob is great. So if you would, you just can't go wrong making this meal for your family. It's great leftover too. Even when kebabs are cold, you can either heat them up a little bit or just eat them. Just eat it cold. They're good either way. So like, share, and subscribe, please. Make this meal for your family. Tell your friends about our channel. We're always making new videos. Hit the notification bell. We'll send you a notification when we put out a new video. And until the next time we meet on our YouTube channel here, have a great rest of your night, and God bless.